Yo, it is that time again. Look at the sea. This is my view right now, as well as this chomping sausage. He's just been given his post-walk treat. Oh my God. It's like this. I've got a case of, yo, hey Stephanie. I've got a case of COVID mask spot mouth, and it's really annoying. I had to wear a mask to have a craniosacral session the other day, and she was like, oh, well, you can take it off if you want, but she was wearing hers and like these new regulations, and I was like, I'll keep it on more for you than for me. Oh, just messaging me. Hi Eva, hi Lauren, hey Alanda. So I had to wear this fucking mask, and anyway, I chose to wear the mask because I felt like, you know, it's cool, I'll wear the mask, you're wearing yours, clearly I didn't want to make anyone else feel uncomfortable, so I did the thing and I wore the mask, and now I have all these fucking spots from like breathing into my own face. Doing my head in. Anyway, it's not, the point is that is not going to stop me from doing a live stream, even though it is quite unsightly. So let's just take a moment to say hello and appreciate my lip for the trauma that it's currently experiencing. Oh, there's a beautiful crow just flown up. Oh, and another one. Another one. We have a murder of crows. How fabulous. Anyway. The title of this live stream came to me because I was out walking my little Sausalito, and I was kind of thinking about how excited I am about some new projects that are in the pipeline. And just kind of feeling into all the magic stuff that I'm creating space for. So I moved my spiral clients to the beginning of January next year. We were meant to start mid-November, and I just had this real hit, like, oh, thank you, Alanda. I kiss you with my spotty lip. How sexy. But yeah, so I moved them to January, which is not like me at all, actually. I don't normally do that kind of thing, but I just had this real hit to be like, I just don't feel aligned with taking people through the spiral in November. I've just taken an amazing group of people through. I've done about 3 or 4 rounds of it now this year. And I was like, I need a break. I actually just need a break from taking people through it. And if I need a break from it, there's no point in trying to push myself to take people through a process, because yes, it's powerful. And yes, of course it would up-level their shit. But I don't feel in integrity taking people through a process if I'm not 100% energetically feeling like it's a full body fuck yes. So I've moved them to January because that gives me a couple of months to refuel my cup and all of this stuff. So that's the first lesson, okay? Don't do what doesn't feel good, because nobody benefits. This idea that we have in society that we have to do what we've said we're gonna do because otherwise we'll let people down. In my mind, if someone's investing like $3,000 to come through a process with me to change their lives, the worst thing I could do is do it when I don't feel like I've got the energy or the bandwidth to do it. Like, for me, that is completely counterintuitive, and that's how I run my business, and that's how I encourage my clients to run their businesses. I practice what I preach, okay? So aside from that, I've been having, one of the reasons I did it was because I was starting to feel like it was becoming a bit of a conveyor belt. I was a bit like, it always sells out. I can always sell the spiral out. It's not an issue. People will always want to do the spiral with me. That's not the issue. The issue is that I felt like I was giving all of my time and bandwidth to selling something that I didn't create, and that just doesn't feel good to me. So even though when I take people through in January, yes, you, Stephanie, when I take you through, you know, in January, it's going to be this, I will be clicked in, I'll be ready to rock, it will be fucking potent, and I will be excited to do it because I've had a couple of months off. But I needed this space to actually allow time for my own creativity to come through, for me to fully be able to access my own magic, because it's very easy for me to get lost in someone else's magic. And I know that that doesn't ultimately serve me or my clients. So one of the things that has come up for me around this when I was on my walk now, and that inspired the title of this live stream, in fact, was I do get very excited about my offerings, and I do very much like share them with the world from that place of excitement, because, you know, well, that's what sells for a start. Like, if I'm excited and I'm passionate about selling something, then other people are going to be passionate about buying it. If I show up lackluster and don't give a shit about what I'm selling, then it's probably not going to sell. And actually, why would you buy it? Why would I buy anything from anyone if they're not completely like a full body fuck yes to delivering the fucking thing? Like, I don't want to pay someone to give me a half-assed fucking service, right? Like, I want someone else to be all in on their offering when I'm investing in it. So when I was on my walk today, I was getting all excited about these offerings that I know are going to be kind of coming through me, and they're not fully formed yet, and one of them's a collaboration, and I'm like, oh, feeling into all of this magic stuff. And I noticed how there's a difference in my energy now and how I'm able to hold an idea. I used to very much have to get it out in the world like straight away, and I still do that sometimes. Sometimes I will still like have an idea and be like, boom, it's out in the world, like I did with the Lunar Tapping Circle. If you've watched that live stream in my Facebook group, you'll see like I literally just did a tapping live stream, and then I was like, oh, I could do this on every full and new moon. Who wants in on that? And then by the end of that day, I had a sales page. My friend created me a sales page. I had a link, people were signing up, and then the next day we started, right? And there were like 10 people signed up or whatever. Now we've got nearly 20 in there. But you know, it was like that. It was like, I have to do this. And it was that divine strike of inspiration, like, do it now. But these things, I can feel that they're very much like they're wanting to just kind of be in my energetic system, sit in my sacral for a bit, and like let me kind of feel the juice of them. And I know that if I try and push, it's like trying to give birth to a baby if it doesn't want to come out. Like, you can push and squeeze as much as you like, that fucker ain't going anywhere. So rather than cutting myself open and pulling the idea out, just going to let it gestate, and I'm going to nurture it, and I'm going to take care of it. And the way that I do that is by giving myself lots of space, getting out in nature, journaling, you know, like eating good food, listening to what my body wants to do, go exercising loads, spending time with my little sausage dog, all of this stuff, and really nurturing my channel, my physical body. Because if I'm depleted in any way, energetically, physically, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, then I can't be of full service to that which wishes to be birthed through me. And that's just like a level of integrity that I always strive to have in my work. Because at the end of the day, I've got to deliver the fucker. Do you know what I mean? I'm the one who, if I put an offering out into the world, I'm the one who's got to show up for those calls, hold the space, create the energetic container, sell the motherfucker, and then I've got to deliver it. So if I like create a 12-week program and I spend 2 weeks marketing it, that's 14 weeks of my life that I've got to be invested in something at a level which is, you know, what I would deem acceptable to me. And I have quite high standards for myself when it comes to my level of energetic presence when I'm delivering something. And I'm fine with that. I'm fine with having that high standard for myself, because that's ultimately what I expect from my mentors, my coaches, when I enter a program. It's what I expect from my personal trainer. It's what, you know, like, it's, if someone doesn't show up ready to fucking play as a mentor or a coach, then it's tricky for me to, I don't know, like, I was talking to a friend today, and we were talking about like how it feels to be like taken seriously, and how it feels when you invest in someone and they invest back in you energetically, and they're behind you, and they're like, right, you've invested in me financially, you've made this commitment, now let's fucking go, I'm on your team. And that's very much what you get when you work with me. Particularly, the higher the level you work at, the more of that you get, because the more access you get to me, right? But I'm fully behind my clients getting what they want. I really, really fucking want them to get what they say that they want. If I want it more than they want it, that's a problem. And sometimes that's the case, you know, particularly even like a couple of years ago, even last year, kind of the middle of last year, you know, it's like sometimes there would be people who'd show up into my programs, into my containers, and they'd tell me what they wanted, and I'm there holding the fucking field of possibility, holding the pillar of that thing happening for them, but they're not coming to meet me. And so I make sure now that my pricing and my energy and what I ask for, I'm very clear of what I ask of my clients now. It's like, you've got to be willing to fully step in and meet me, because I pack a punch, not just literally, but figuratively, energetically. I'm full fucking on, you know. I expect you to do the work. I expect you to show the fuck up for your sessions. I expect you to be on time. I expect you to let me know if you can't make a session. Like, I don't fuck around when it comes to those boundaries, because my energy and my time are my most valuable resources. And in doing that, in modeling that, it's a way also of transmitting that out to my clients, and they get that transmission as well of actually, you know, they start to understand like, oh wait, my time and my energy are fucking valuable as well. And they start to honor their own time and their own energy and their own sovereignty, because I model that and I live by that. And it's something that I'm always upgrading. So you full on I know I'm hiding it so well, aren't I? But I don't want to be like a transmission coach. I don't want to be like, oh, you're just in my presence and you change. Even though that's true, even though it's true, I still want to give more, because I really love doing the work that I do, and I love it to be a collaboration. I don't just want to be like sending stuff out into the world and then just like dropping you off in the ocean and being like, okay, we'll see you later then. Like, it excites me, and like it fires me up to see people progressing and to be a part of that journey, and to help them activate those things in themselves. Because ultimately, yeah, someone could work with me for the rest of their lives, but you know what I really want, and to me a real testament is when people do something with me, step away from it, go live their lives, and then they usually end up investing in something else, because they're like, I want to come and do this work with you now, or I want to come and work on this thing with you now. And it was beautiful at the end of the last round of the spiral that finished last week. One of the ladies was like, I really want to work with you, but I don't know, like, what have you got on offer right now? So I told her the current ways you can work with me. And one of them, she really wanted to have like one-to-one calls with me, because that's where she got the most benefit, was actually from being able to have that conversation and have me spot the patterns she couldn't see herself, and be like, oh, hang on a minute, what's this all about? And she'd be like, oh fuck, I didn't see that, you know, because that's pretty much like my gift, is that I can see the pattern that you don't even know exists. And then we tug that pattern, pull it out, and then you feel better. Ta-da! Magic! But when I said to her, well, if you want to work with me one-to-one at the moment, the only offering I have outside of the spiral is my Unleash 3-month coaching, which is $5,000. You get to speak to me one-to-one twice a month, and you get access to me, and you get access to anything that I run in that time, any group programs or anything, like, you get access to those as well. And she said to me, if I had something that I really wanted to work on, if I had like a goal in mind, I would invest in that, and I would trust the money would come, and I'd do whatever it took to get that money. But right now, I don't know that I have anything that I want enough to invest in that level of support. And I said to her, I think you're right. I think that when you've just finished the spiral, you need to kind of go away and recalibrate, live into this new identity, live into this new timeline that you've created for you and activated for yourself. And then when the pieces start to land, it will become very clear where the next part of our work together emerges. And I don't have any scarcity around that. I don't have any fear around that. I know that people come back to work with me when they're ready and when they want to. And if they don't, that's also okay. But I used to have such a level of fear around that. I feel like I needed to kind of like keep customers, you know, like keep people. I need to keep them. They're my clients and I must keep them all, because otherwise there might not be any more clients. Whereas now I understand that it's like the work that I do, it works. So it's not unusual for people to come work with me for a period of time, go away, do their own thing, and then come back at some point, because they need to go and live. They need to go and live into the changes we've created. The work I do is not fucking surface level bullshit. We really go in and we dig the shit out at the root. So you can move forward as this new person that you've been wanting to be. And you won't know the gaps. You won't know the pieces that you need to, either like loose ends that you need to tie up, or like what you need to get to that next level, or unlock like the next level in the video game, you know, like to slay the next big baddie. You won't know what that is until you start moving forward and living into this life that you've created for yourself. And I totally get that. So I don't have that like neediness around having people work with me continually. If they do, great. I'm all for it. Like, if that's what they need and they're ready to just keep fucking growing, let's go. But I'm just not a hold your hand, support you through, let's have a call once a week and just chew the fat kind of coach. That holds no interest to me. Sorry, guys. Sorry, not sorry. I'm really only interested in having conversations with people where they are wanting to grow, change, be called on their bullshit. And that goes, and I said this the other week, but that goes for friendships too. Like, all of my friends are growth addicts. Every single one of them. The conversations we have, like I was on the phone last night to my friend Jamie for about an hour and a half. We had a Zoom call. And we started off just like catching up, and then we end up in really fucking deep territory and just like, you know, unpacking the matrix that is this current pandemic and whatever, and like just, you know, laying down some truths with each other. And that's the level of connection. That is the level of connection I'm available for, nothing less. And therefore, if I feel that somebody just wants surface level, I just want to talk through my problems, I'm not really interested in actually growing, that's really not what I'm here for. Oh, hey, Julie, nice to see you. Yeah, I'm not good at well, it's got to the point actually where I can't even feign interest in the mundane. Like, I'm just not even interested in it. Like, I can't, and I choose not to. I'm sure if I really wanted to, I'm a talented actress, I'm sure that if I really wanted to, I could feign interest in someone's bullshit, but I'm just not interested. I have no desire to feign interest in someone. Like I said last week, I don't want to hear about your children. I don't want to talk about the weather. Talk to me about dogs as much as you want. I'm here for all of the dog chat. But if you're just wanting to have a fucking moan about something, I mean, I do let my clients rant. Let me just lay something down for you. I do let my clients rant because sometimes actually the world of self-responsibility kind of teaches us out of just being able to have a fucking unhinged rant or like rah about something. What I'm talking about is the continual, oh, but I can't because, and I can't because, and I can't. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about that. Like, I can't listen to it. Again, I could listen to it, but I choose not to because I find it really tedious. I find it tedious in myself when I have those like, oh, but I can't, but I can't, but. And I kind of tolerate it from myself, and I will hold myself. I'm able to hold myself through those moments now where I never used to be able to. I used to dismiss them and bypass myself and be like, no, move away from the neediness. I can hold my own neediness now, and I can be with it and like be okay with it and not judge myself, and I can hold myself in victim and be like, do you know what, you're okay. And I can go there with myself. But that doesn't mean I have to fucking tolerate it from anyone else, right? I have all the patience in the world for people who are willing to do the work. All the patience in the world. My clients will tell you I will listen to them, talk about pretty much whatever they need to talk about, to feel whatever they need to feel, because the outcome is always, they know the answers. I'm merely there to hold space and remind them of like the pieces that of themselves that they've forgotten, to help them see the patterns that they can't see on their own, because no one can see all of themselves. No matter how good a coach or mentor or spiritual guru you are, no one can see all parts of themselves. Like, that's why, you know, we have other human interactions, because they're the mirrors and they help us see the parts of ourselves that we have forgotten that we love, or that we have forgotten that we don't love and that we need to integrate. And I think because of this self-responsibility piece, I've always, you know, particularly since really going into that self-responsibility stuff, I have sometimes allowed it to have me hold, like, allow people to be in their shit a bit longer than they needed to be, because I know that sometimes I just need to be in my shit. But really, the people that I work with now are able to journey those emotions. They're able to feel those emotions and go there with themselves, ask for support when they need it, but they don't need me to keep them in that. No one comes to me because they want to be kept in their own limiting bullshit. People come to me because they know that I'm not going to allow them to wallow in it. I will encourage them to feel all of it. In fact, I will encourage them to go even deeper into it than they might have wanted to, because usually the people who come to me want to resist their feelings a little bit. So I'll usually kind of drop kick them into their emotions. So they got to feel those motherfuckers, integrate them, allow their nervous system to recalibrate to allowing more of this energy to course through their veins without needing to like push it out into the world, or like get rid of it, or blame someone else, or project it. They're able to hold the emotion, move it through, and therefore recalibrate and expand what their nervous system can actually hold and deal with. And then they're able to relax. And that's really, for me, that's the key. It's not about bypassing your emotions, and it's not about wallowing in them. It's about feeling them to the nth degree. Like, go as far into them as you need to, get what you need, and then come back and get the fuck on with your life. So I think it's, for me, I've definitely found a balance. I found a balance over the last year and a half. I feel like I've kind of pendulum swung from one side to the other, and I'm coming to this beautiful place in the middle where I'm fully in acceptance of all of the emotions that I have. I'm able to hold them, I'm able to express them, I'm able to feel them or move them through my body. I'm able to transmute them into something beautiful and shift through them. And that has enabled me to allow my clients to understand that they get to fully feel their emotions, and that your emotions are nothing to be ashamed of. You know, like, even this morning I had a moment of just like this wave of a memory of a feeling of, oh my God, my emotions are too big. No one else can deal with me when I'm in all of my emotional like ups and downs. People can't deal with me. And I felt it, and I was like, ooh, that's an old pattern come to play. And so I just got my journal out and just kind of journaled through it, and then like allowed myself to just feel it. And I was like, what is this feeling trying to protect me from? Oh, it's trying to protect me from asking for support. Okay, interesting. So what would the pattern have had me do in the past? It would have had me retreat, shut myself down, lock myself away, pretend everything's fine. Like, I'm fine, I'm dying inside, I'm fine. Okay, cool, that's the old pattern. So what would the opposite of that be? What else could I choose? And so what I did was I just kind of, the pattern was telling me, oh, these people don't like you. That was the pattern. These people don't like you. These people that you thought loved you, they don't love you. You're too much for them. That was the pattern that was playing. And I was like, oh, okay. What would I normally do? Retreat, blah, blah, blah. So what can I do instead? Just reach out. Just be friends. I don't have to ask for their validation. I don't have to ask. I don't even have to say to anyone, oh my God, this is how I'm feeling and I need you to fix it. Please tell me you love me. I don't need to do that either. I can be with the discomfort of the lie that my mind is telling me. I can be with that discomfort in my body. And then I can reach out to these people and be like, hey, how you doing? Just wanted to drop some love in your inbox or whatever, you know? So I just have such a new understanding of like how emotions get to inform what we do next. You know, like the mind and the emotions, I think sometimes the spiritual community kind of shames the mind a little bit. You know, it's all about embodiment and feeling and energy. And I fucking love all that shit, as you know. But I got into this stuff through the mind. The mind was the conduit for me to understand what embodiment even is. If I hadn't started with the mind and like NLP and reprogramming my mental patterning and my speech patterns and stuff like that, if I hadn't started there, there's no way I'd have gone as deep into spirituality as I have. No fucking way. For some people, the mind is the conduit into the body. It is, we need to understand the mind, and we need to kind of like, almost like hack the mind into allowing us to feel, because we've built up such amazing defense mechanisms in the mind. So to completely ignore it and bypass it, for me, just wouldn't have worked. And that's why I like to work with both. That's why I bring neurolinguistic programming, and I bring embodiment practice, and I bring energy work and spiritual practices and ritual. That's why I bring all of the pieces together, because I've needed all of those pieces to get me to this point, and I will use them to move me to the next phase of my life as well. So I'm just not for shaming any particular way of doing things. I think however you get to the fucking result that you're looking for, great, do it, whatever it takes. Whether you have to mindset your way there, whether you have to embodiment and gyrate your way there, or whether you have to fucking self-pleasure your way there, whatever you've got to do, just don't give up on what it is that you really want to create for your life, and don't let anyone tell you how you should do it. If the way that I speak about things resonates with you and you feel like, she actually kind of speaks some sense to me, great, come work with me. If I don't, find somebody else, or just look within, read a book, listen to a podcast, whatever. But this idea that we ever need that there's ever anything that we don't already have, is kind of crazy to me. And I trip myself up with it all the time. So this is how I know it's so crazy. I trip myself up with the idea that there is something that I haven't yet learned. There's something I don't know yet, which is why I'm not where I want to be, or whatever. And usually it's just that I'm... it's the very thought that there's something outside of me that I still need to learn, or I still need to know in order to be the next level success, or the next level joy, or the next level fitness version of me. It's like, no, bitch, that's the thing that's keeping you from actually just becoming that person or living into that identity, is the idea that there is something else you need to learn. Let go of that idea and see how fucking quick clarity comes to you. Anyway, the title of this live stream, have I covered it? I feel like I have, in a roundabout, Nolly kind of way. Have I covered it? Do you feel I've covered it? Did you get what you came for? How are you? Tell me all the things whilst I have a sip of probably incredibly hot green peppermint tea. Talk to me, people. Talk to me. Wow, this ocean is amazing today. It is crashing on the beach. I'm just waiting to see if comments come in. Hey Justin, hey Mark. Oh, hey Grace, I didn't know you were there. Hey girl. Oh, I love this. I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. Oh good, well I'm glad. I'm glad that it tickled your proverbial fancy. Cool. Well, I can't even remember what I call this live stream now, to be honest. But yeah, just allow yourself to know that you can hold any emotion. You can hold anything you need to. You don't have to push it out of your body, including your excitement, right? You don't need to, this is what I was talking about in the title of this live stream, like recalibrating your nervous system. I think when we've been conditioned to believe that our emotions are too big, or we're too much, we feel too much, or whatever bullshit we've been conditioned to believe, that we've then kind of taken these beliefs on as our own and then lived with these beliefs and lived into them and create an identity around them. Once we start to strip those back and realize actually our emotions are a gift, and we can allow ourselves to feel any emotion to its biggest, its largest and fullest extent, and that's really what's going to allow us to receive more abundance into our life, to receive more from others. When we're able to channel more energy and more life force through our body, that's what recalibrates our nervous system to a certain extent. You know, I mean, there's other things you can do, but definitely this is one of the easiest ways that you can actually just start to almost like loosen your grip. I see it like arteries that are all clogged up and they're all like contracted, and then when we start actually allowing ourselves to feel, at first it can feel really fucking intense, and it's like we're like clearing these arteries of all the shit that's in there so that the energy can flow through these channels. So yeah, at first when you start feeling again, it might feel a bit overwhelming and a bit fucking full on and a bit like, oh look, there's a rainbow, do you see it? Such a child. Such a distractor. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, rainbow, shiny thing. I'm such a magpie. Hello. How do I get anything done is a fucking miracle. But I do. So there we go. You too can be crazy and have an empire online. You're welcome. But yeah, just this idea that your emotions are too much is something that really at some point you just get to choose to give that the finger and decide that your emotions are actually a gift. And when you continue to allow them to flow through you, you start to recalibrate your nervous system, you start to recalibrate your understanding of what those emotions actually mean. You stop making them mean anything negative about you and just start seeing them as a flow of energy, as information that you get to choose what you then do with that information. It doesn't have to rule you. You don't have to let them fucking drown you. It's okay to feel them, but maybe don't get so sucked into them that you completely lose yourself, right? So in my mind, with emotions, doesn't matter how big they are or how many of them you feel on a daily basis, it's like, is this who I want to be today? Is this who I'm going to choose to be today? Am I going to let these emotions rule my day and kind of make some emotions good and some emotions bad? And it's like, well, why? If you fully trust that the universe has got your back and that you are always exactly where you need to be on the path to attaining whatever desire or goal it is you're currently heading towards, then if you feel a bit depressed or a bit unclear and a bit confused, can you just choose to go, oh, then this must be exactly what I'm meant to feel right now. What's the gift in this for me? Get the gift, and then probably your state will shift anyway. So it's not about trying to feel something else. It's about allowing the body to do what it does naturally and fucking alchemize the emotions into clarity. You know, people get so caught up on this idea of like, I need to be inspired, I need to be creative, I need to be clear all the time. And that's been one of the things that's held me back, like in the past, for sure. And now I would just say, well, if I'm craving clarity, am I actually willing to take a fucking step back and breathe and take a bird's eye view? Because if I'm here and I'm fucking staring at it like this, it's quite hard to actually get clarity when you're in the mess, when you're in the chaos. So are you willing to breathe and allow yourself to just enjoy all the pieces being up in the air and everything feeling a bit chaotic for a minute? Because you know that you can trust yourself to come back to your center. And that trust in yourself is really important. If you don't have that trust in yourself and you don't feel safe with and in yourself, it's quite difficult to do this growth work. And that's really where you need to start. It's starting to understand that you are safe in your body. You are safe to feel. It's safe to be you. It's safe to be human. Anyway, hope you enjoyed my rant. That's it. I'm not even going to try and sell you anything today. I'm just going to let it be. And those of you who know you need to work with me will just going to trust the universe. So from me and my enormous spots on my face, we'd all like to wish you a beautiful, beautiful Tuesday. And I'm sure I'll see you all soon. Bye.